Today is the deadline for South Korea's budget bill for next year to be passed. And the National Assembly has opened a plenary session today to put it to a vote. As the first annual budget bill under the Lee Jae Myung administration, all eyes are on how the vote will unfold. For more, we are joined by our political correspondent, Hye-ryeon. Welcome, Hye-ryeon.
Thanks for having me, Dami.
So about the vote that's about to be unfolded tonight, what can you tell us?
So the plenary session was due to begin just a few moments ago at 8 p.m. and it's widely expected that the budget bill will come to pass. And this is because the ruling Democratic Party and the main opposition People Power Party have been at odds over various aspects of the bill. But following a series of meetings between the floor leaders, they managed to reach an agreement earlier today to process the bill at the session. It was reported that the two rival parties agreed to cut roughly 4.3 trillion Korean won, or around $2.9 billion from various sections within the government's original proposal, and to increase funding only within the scope of that cut, meaning that the overall scale of the budget bill will stay at a record 728 trillion won, just under $500 billion. They agreed not to reduce budget allocations for key national agenda items of the Lee Jae Myung administration, such as support for issuing local gift certificates and the National Growth Fund, while cutting some funding from AI-related support programs, policy funds, and reserve budget items. Increases will be made to several areas, such as funding for national scholarships and building a recovery system for the National Information Resources Service following a major fire back in September that caused widespread disruption to core national IT services.
Then, Hye-ryeon, tell us more about the process over the next few weeks leading up to the vote tonight. What were the main points of contention between lawmakers?
So the legal deadline for the budget every single year falls on December 2nd,
right.
And that's because the Constitution dictates that it must be processed at least 30 days before the next fiscal year starts, which is January the 1st. But because the budget has always been a highly contentious piece of legislation, this is the first time in 5 years that lawmakers will process it by the legal deadline if the bill passes by midnight. And here's what the floor leaders had to say.
What matters now is execution. This budget must improve people's daily lives, and the Democratic Party will take full responsibility. We'll do our best to make today's budget the starting point for tomorrow's change.
Given the importance of livelihood-related budgets, we ask for your understanding that we agree broadly to pass the budget by the deadline.
So the scale of the budget itself has been a key topic of debate as the largest annual budget in South Korea's history. As a result, the expansionary fiscal policy of the administration has been a key area of conflict between the ruling Democratic Party and the main opposition People Power Party, accusing each other of engaging in populism. Lawmakers also focused on President Lee's key policy pledges, such as a rural basic income that provides regular monetary handouts to all residents living in rural areas, regardless of their job, income, or age.
I see. Now, aside from next year's budget, Hye-ryeon, what other bills are on the agenda?
So aside from next year's budget, lawmakers are also facing a long list of reform and budget-related bills that didn't make it to last Thursday's session. And among them are amendments to the Corporate Tax Act and the Education Tax Act, previously major sticking points which are now expected to pass as originally proposed by the Democratic Party and the government. The changes include a uniform 1 percentage point increase in corporate tax rates across all brackets and a hike in the education tax on financial and insurance firms earning more than 1 trillion won in profits, raising the rate from 0.5 to 1%. Another plenary session is set for Thursday, where the DP plans to push a bill that would allow the National Speakers Assembly to halt a filibuster if fewer than 60 lawmakers are present, along with several other contentious measures.
Well, for now, we'll keep an eye out to tonight's bill and also the upcoming plenary session later this week. Hye-ryeon, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you for having me.